Hello, everyone, to another tier list, and this one is going to be currently we are near the end of September 2025. So I'm going to be doing my ranking of the movies that I saw this year so far. I have not watched Conjuring Last Rites there. I have to wait until that hits streaming. Um, there's the Frankenstein movie. I think that was slated for December, so I want to see that. Um, and then for the last couple of months there, maybe I'll do a separate video for that. But these are the ones that are mainly the blockbusters for the summer, mostly. Okay, so let's start off with Formula One, and that is going into Blu-ray buy. And by the way, Blu-ray buy is number one. Close call. It's pretty good, but not near as good as Blu-ray buy. Meh was movies that are meh. Disappointing. There are a few here. And Garbage Can, there are movies that I absolutely didn't like. So anyway, Formula One with Brad Pitt is a fantastic movie. Yes, it's another racing movie, but the way it was shot, the way it was acted, the story was really good. It was great. It pretty much has Brad Pitt as a sort of aged driver. There was an event that happened on reasons for him not racing in Formula One. And there's a new upstart type driver, and it kind of goes from there. Fantastic cast, really cool racing shots and moments there. You're behind the car, you're kind of feeling the speed of the cars as they're racing about. Blu-ray buy, 100%. Okay, Thunderbolts. Total trash. What a surprise that a Marvel movie for me ends up in the garbage. I hated this movie. The writing was garbage. The characters were a joke. The plot was really dumb. The heroes here are up against something that is just like doesn't make any sense. Um, it's all over the place. The humor was just didn't land for the most part. It was just a really dumb movie. I could pick out a lot of things like the kind of the opening near the beginning of the film. They kill off a character, and it's like that was from previously, and it's like really I didn't personally care for the character, but it's like okay, I guess you're doing away with this character, no bother of an explanation. Um, I could say that I didn't like the fact that like the whatever the hell that character's name is with the shield, the fake Captain America agent, I'm gonna call him. His character was such a joke. But anyway, could go on and on about the movie. It was garbage. So it's in its right place in the garbage can. The Pickup. So the Pickup is the latest Eddie Murphy movie with David Ayer. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It was meh. So it's basically the brink truck drivers that have to put up with these bad guys that want to rob their truck of money. It was okay, but by the end of it, it's like, all right, I'm good. It was a one-time watch. It can be entertaining in parts, but overall, I've already forgotten about it. It's just looking through this list right now. I'm like, oh, I remember watching this. So, um, Naked Gun, I'm gonna put in close call. It was a surprise. This is one of the first surprises on this list. I was surprised at this film. I didn't think much of it. A Naked Gun remake, and it's a spoof movie on top of that. We haven't got a spoof movie in I don't even remember the last one. I mean, I'm not counting the straight to video garbage that we've got over the decades, but Liam Neeson did a fantastic job replacing Leslie Nielsen here. As Frank Drebin. The jokes landed for the most part. It was funny. Um, Kooky character moments and there's like quite a bit of um humorous bits. And an example of that will be like the whole thing with the coffee. Like they have to have the scenes where someone's holding a coffee in their hand. Just out of nowhere. Um yeah, I was surprised, but it's a good surprise, and I was thoroughly entertained by the Naked Gun. Um, and it had a cool cameo at the end. And if you kind of stay like, I don't know, I guess they're almost mid credits, you get like a funny poke at the actual credits, which I thought was really humorous. All right, The Gorge. So Gorge is a really cool movie, and there's another movie I totally forgot about, and I really shouldn't have. It was Apple TV film. Um, I think it was in January or the beginning of the year, and it basically the story has two badasses, a male and a female, one on either side of this gorge, this canyon that they have to protect from monsters coming up. And I loved it. I thought it was a good build up. I thought the humor was good. I thought the creature designs were amazing. I thought it was suspenseful parts as the movie goes along. The monsters themselves, I mean, they're computer graphics there from what I remember for the most part, but they're cool. It was done well enough. Um, I really like this film. I thought it's a Blu-ray buy. It's fantastic. I'd watch it again. It's yeah. I'm not going to spoil any more for that. The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck and the guy from The Walking Dead. That's the guy who played Shane, the guy who played Punisher, that actor. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's a sequel to The Accountant from years ago, a couple of years ago. I don't think that long. I think it was 5 years ago or something. It has Ben Affleck playing the autistic assassin, and this time he teams up with his brother to do a mission, and it's a lot more humorous than the first one. The action is really good. Overall, really good, cool film. It's a rewatchable, good fun time. Fantastic Four. I gotta put in disappointing. It's not total garbage like Thunderbolts, but I was bored. I honestly was bored. The camaraderie of the four is cool. The costumes were cool. Galactus, of course, showing up is cool. But that's it, really. Thank God they don't have Doctor Doom in here except for a post-credit scene. Uh, which I really don't like Downey Jr. as the role. It's just weird and dumb. Um, but yeah, it's a forgettable movie. It's just I found the pacing boring. Yeah, there's action sequences in there and everything, but I didn't feel much when they were going on. Kind of rolling my eyes, to be honest. Problem is, I think that Marvel's disappointed me so much over the years that when I see a Marvel movie, I'm just going in it not really expecting much, and that's really hurt on films that may be better in other people's eyes, but just not mine. So it's a I gotta put it in disappointing. There were moments there, but that's where it's gonna go. Snow White's gonna go in garbage can with an asterisk. Asterisk. Can't even say that name word. The asterisk is this that the actress that played Snow White was the best and only good part of the entire film. As for the rest of it, it was garbage. The dwarfs being computer graphics was garbage when they could have used live actors. Gal Gadot as the queen was bad casting. It just she didn't do it. I didn't like the way they did the mirror. The story beats they had in there were lame. Um, like I said, the actress that played Snow White was the coolest part because she acted and played the role. It's too bad that everything else in the film was just garbage. They did have the witch apple part again. I guess that was okay. But yeah, garbage can of a movie. But it's not really a surprise because live action Disney movies are just don't appeal to me. There are some good ones, but there are a lot of bad ones. Moving on. The Amateur. The Amateur, I'm gonna put in meh. So Lawrence Fishburne and Malik Balak, I think that's how you say his name, the actor. It's a it's kind of a spy thriller type, which is fine. The pacing was fine. It's just that it wasn't a lasting impression on me of a film. It's not terrible. If it was on TV, sure I'd watch it again, but it was fine. It was meh. Superman, close call. And this one has an asterisk by it. I think David Cornsweet was amazing as Superman. Was pretty close to Christopher Reeve, who was my number one all time who played Superman. Holt, who played Lex Luthor, was good. The actress that played Lois Lane was fantastic. Um, the action scenes were cool when Superman did throw down. I think the suit was fine. A lot of people complain about the suit. I didn't have any problems with it. I like the look of the Fortress of Solitude. I like the sort of plot to begin it with it, where it's years, 3 years after Superman reveals himself to the world, which I think was cool. Uh, what holds this movie back, and I think most people would put this lower on their tier list if they had one, but I live with it because it's better than Superman Returns. I'll give it a little bit of leeway because I've watched it a multiple times. So it is for me. I can rewatch it, putting aside my nitpicks with it. But I don't like the Superman's parents plot hole that leads to the further the plot. I don't like that whole thing. I don't like the fact that Superman got beaten up a lot here. There wasn't enough Superman moments. Those are my two key problems with the film. But that aside, I love the Justice Gang with Green Lantern and um, Mister Terrific and Hawkgirl were cool when they were on there. So a lot of cool action scenes, and we get to see Supergirl in a cameo for obviously in the post credits. Um, I don't know how that movie's gonna go. We'll have to see. It looks like they're putting Supergirl as kind of a teenager. I mean, she kind of is, and she kind of has to learn to know her role. I mean, I'm sure that's what the film's going to be based on, but we'll have to see, right? But overall, I think Superman was a solid, entertaining movie, despite my nitpicks with it. Um, I know there's people out there that want to shit all over James Gunn's vision of his DC universe. Um, but I say if you're Zack Snyder fans, you have your movies, you have your universe. Have fun with it. We're in a new direction there, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. I mean, I could turn around and if it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, like Peacemaker and Superman and the Creature Commandos, I wouldn't have continued watching James Gunn stuff. But so far, I have my nitpicks about them, but I see the vision. I can see where this is going, and it looks promising. Whether or not that continues, um, because Warner Brothers is being bought out by someone, Paramount or Netflix there, and whether or not James Gunn will still remain at the helm. I don't see why they would fire him, but who the hell knows? I mean, that's the only thing with this is that what's going to happen with the merger of whoever Warner Brothers ends up with. But anyway, that aside, Superman is a close call. Sinners, I'm going to put in disappointing. I like the actors in it. They did a great job. But what really slows us down for me is the pacing was very slow. Very slow. You do get obviously to the vampire stuff, but it's a slow burn of a movie. And it's one of those films, unfortunately, that I think is a one-time watch. Um, Not that I was expecting Sinners to be like a gusher banger vampire movie. I feel like it's like Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. If everybody remembers that movie, this is like the opposite of what I'm going to say. But in Dusk Till Dawn, it was cool until the characters reached the bar, and I got stupid. Sinners is boring up until you reach the vampire parts. Um, I do like the resolve. I thought it's cool, like the ending. Um, but it's just it didn't sustain me. Um, I watched it twice just to see if it was just because I was tired the first time I watched it, but it ultimately was the pacing. It was just such a drag, unfortunately. But I do recommend people watch it. That's this movie has an asterisk too. I do recommend it to make your own opinion on the movie because there are people that love it, and I could see why, but it just didn't really pull my strings all that much. All right, Novocaine with the actor that is in The Boys. I thought it was meh. Action's fine. It's a one-time watch. Um, Humor is there, but ultimately, it's like it has a lot of silly parts and forgettable. That's really all I could say about Novocaine. It's just there. It was an action or entertaining, and then you're done with it. It's interesting on he's a character that doesn't feel pain. There were some humorous parts, but yeah. All right, Screamboat, the Mickey Mouse horror movie. Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna put that in close call. It's between close call and meh. Seriously. This was I didn't expect anything from this film going in. It is dumb. The characters are stupid, but they don't hide that here. Um, they don't hide the dumbness that the turning these Disney characters and stuff into horror icons now. Like, I don't agree with it. I don't care for it, but I watch them for how bad they are. Like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was terrible, but the sequel was more entertaining, but still not a great piece of film. I think Screenboat for me, a little bit of a guilty pleasure there because there was some very funny kill moments. So one really cool one. The graphics weren't the greatest at that part, but like it was an interesting one there. Um, the humor of the bad dialogue and that it's like watching one of those old '80s cheesy horror movies back in the day. That's what Screamboat is. If you don't care for that stuff, I understand. Like it's dumb, it's stupid, but if you don't mind just laughing at a silly film, you'll probably get a kick out of it. The Mickey Mouse character was played by the guy who did the Terrifier Art the Clown, which he does a really good job. That's one thing I gotta say about Terrifier because I don't care for it. It's gory and all that, but like the guy that plays Art the Clown, I gotta give it to him. He plays that character well. And here he plays the Mickey Mouse character with the kind of like the teehees and all that stuff. He does a good job with it. He's like the best part of the movie. So yeah, it's between Close Call and Meh. I only put it more into Close Call because it was stupid and funny because of how stupid it was. So I didn't expect to like it at all, but I wouldn't say it's like a watch every Halloween kind of movie though. Like, but whatever. Uh oh, that was Love Hurts. Love Hurts. Mm, I didn't like it. It tries to be a martial art movie. Um, yeah, I kind of was checking out over the course of the film. I watched it like once. I honestly don't remember the entire plot line, but I remember I was just like bored by the end. A martial art movie to get bored at, that's not good. There's the odd sequence in there, the fight sequence there, when he's fighting like a couple of dumbass guys, thugs, whatever. The final fight was there. Yeah, it's a forgettable film. Mission Impossible, that's gonna go in disappointing, which is sad to put that there. I found I don't know, it just didn't have that spark that all the other Mission Impossibles had. Like even the Dead Reckoning, the movie before this, that at least that felt like a Mission Impossible film. Here it felt like it was just a somber, just disappointing ending to a franchise. Um, the climax was disappointing and stupid by the end of it. The plane sequence was fine, but the ultimate ending to that whole thing was just like really. There is a character death in the film, but it unfortunately doesn't feel impactful just the way they did it. Um, it felt like a plot device more than anything else, just because, and it's stupid because this character has been pretty much in the whole entire run of the series, and you do that and you don't feel anything. That's a problem. That's writing. Um, there are action sequences in here that are cool. It's still got the Mission Impossible crazy action sequences, but boiling it down with the setup from Dead Reckoning into this about the AI, whatever it is, was very disappointing. I will say though that the submarine sequence in this film is the best part of it. A lot of people, I think, and reviews I've watched have said that. I agree. It's the best part of the entire film, and watch it just for that. But all in all, overall, it was just this disappointing finale to this. Uh, Even Tom Cruise doing another one. I don't know, but what was this film here? So small, I can't even see it. Oh, that was Jurassic Park. Yeah, that's garbage. Jurassic Park Rebirth. They make these films pretty much just for dinosaurs tearing stuff up. Um, they don't care about character building anymore. Humor was bland. Scarlett Johansson couldn't save this movie. She's pretty to look at. I'll give her that. But uh, the biggest thing, like they could have like had the simplistic thing of Mercs go to the island to get something. That's basically most of the idea for Jurassic Park. A simple dumbass plot to get these characters to go back to the island or whatever. Fine. Um, but the family dynamic of characters they throw in there is just like, ugh. And so many stupid writing decisions here. Um, Action's fine, but I would even pick Jurassic Park 3 over this, man. And Jurassic Park 3 is dog shit. But at least Jurassic Park 3, I can laugh at how stupid it is and how silly it is. Um, there are moments in there that I can say are better action sequences than Rebirth. And Rebirth's a newer movie. Yeah, I didn't care for it. I honestly think they should stop with the Jurassic Park movies, but they're not because they make a lot of money because they're mindless films at this point. They don't have any character development. They don't, they're just schlock. That's all they are, and not good schlock. That's all I have to say about that. How to Train a Dragon? Fantastic movie. Now, this is the opposite of Snow White. This live action remake of the animated film was great. It did enough to kind of like have its own like different plot twists. They weren't substantial, but I like how they followed the animated movie a lot. Um, the acting's great by the kids. The humor lands. You got Gerard Butler as the father Pierre. He does a great job. Um, Yeah, it's great. The climactic part there, it was great. It was CG, yes, but crystal clear, the way they did and everything. Kind of like, I would throw in Avatar here a little bit, where if CG's done in that level where it's crisp and clear and cleaned up, you could see the action happening and it's crisp. Perfect. It's entertaining. I really love this movie. I really like the animated How to Train a Dragon. I think there are 3 or 4. But this live one, I want to see another one. I want to see a sequel to this. It's great. Works. Thumbs up. Death of a Unicorn gets disappointing. It was really disappointing. Okay. You have a premise here where there's a unicorn that gets watch it once. It's like gets run over. Um, and then there's this weird family group there takes it in, and then mother shows up, and it's like I thought it was going to be an interesting schlocky horror creature feature, but the characters are dumb. The humor doesn't land. Um, but I love the ending. The ending of this film is the best part of the entire thing. Paul Rudd is very bland in this. I didn't like his character at all. The way they wrote him up. I know Paul Rudd is better than that. Um, the Ortega woman, the actress from Beetlejuice, and the Wednesday main role, she's fine. Um, but the whole movie is just like eye rolling. The gore kills are there, but it's like eye rolling as well. Um, yeah, I was really disappointed with this one. I thought it was going to be a better time. But the ending I liked a lot. That was the only reason to watch the film to get to the ending. But the ending I liked. I thought the ending was cool. Lilo and Stitch is going up to Blu-ray buy. Another remake, surprise, surprise this year by Disney that worked. Again, like How to Train a Dragon, they have a little bit of writing there to kind of change it up from the animated more that adults would get, but they kept a lot of what the animated movie brought. They got back the voice of Stitch. The actors are great. The actress that plays Lilo was great. She looks like it. The stepmother, she's great. They do change the alien. If you've seen it, they do change the two alien, I guess, antagonists of They're the ones that are chasing Stitch, who come from like the planet and whatever, and they do make them human. Actually, didn't bother me as much as some people. They still were their goofy selves, and you see like basically the one doctor. He's like the main antagonist, but you get that throughout the whole entire thing. Great film. I loved it. I thought it was funny. Everything worked. There was a lot of heart in there, just like How to Train Your Dragon. I thought they kept that magic, that Disney magic. That's what Disney movies most of the time are missing is that Disney magic, where you have messages in there, things for adults, things for kids. That's when Disney's at its strongest. Lilo and Stitch worth a Blu-ray buy. All right, we go to Hard Eyes. I gotta put that in close call. It's a decent slasher film. The only thing that keeps it back is its ending, much like Thanksgiving from a couple of years ago. Uh, I love the look of the slasher person. Um, the gore kills were crazy. Uh, it didn't take itself seriously, and that's what was cool about it. About a killer that's going after like couples and whatnot. It's totally rewatchable. It's just like I said, the ending is not good. But overall, solid, solid comedy slasher film. It really is. Um, yeah, there's not much more to say about it. I would watch it over Screamboat. I'll say that much. All right, Happy Gilmore 2. Ugh. I gotta put that in disappointing. I probably liked Happy Gilmore 2 than most people, but it had issues. I didn't. I don't know why for many years now that they have to take these icon characters, make them sad, drunk, depressed, especially the men characters, because God forbid a woman character has what happened to her. And the beginning where they kill off a character that's an integral part of the Happy Gilmore one was dumb. Okay, it was absolutely a stupid plot point to get this going. Um, for the first half of the film, its pacing sucks. Um, Humor is there and here and there. I don't like a lot of the cameos, to be honest, in this, because I felt they were just like the cameos that worked were characters from the first film, but they had cameos that were just not even. It was just filler for the film. That's all it was, including the Eminem one. That was dumb. It's cool to see Eminem in a film, but it just felt like Adam Sandler's like, "Hey, I'm a friend of yours. Come on into my movie." I think once he starts the tournament, starts golfing again, I think that's when the movie picks up about a bit halfway through the film. It gets better, it's more entertaining, but overall, the movie's disappointing. Would I watch it again? Not really, but I probably liked it a little bit more than most people as my screen goes dark. Stupid camera. I am the dark side. But yeah, that's Happy Gilmore too. The sun is like gone in and out today. I mean, I have a light on, but oh, there we go. Lights come back. All right, moving on. Head of State was meh. John Cena, Idris Elba, their dynamics fine. There's some action sequences in there that are fine. It's a buddy comedy type of deal, but ultimately forgettable. You got a president, John Cena, and you got the PM, I guess, from wherever the hell, Britain or whatever. I can't remember. Um, yeah, that's there's not much to say about that one. It's there. Ballerina. Ballerina's close call, the John Wick spin-off. Um, it has insane action sequences, and the woman that portrays the ballerina character is up to the challenge. She puts all in 110%. John Wick does show up, so that's cool. From what I recall, this takes place between chapter 2 and chapter 3 of John Wick. It's not great of a film, but it's solid to watch. It's rewatchable. Um, the plot kind of gets away a little bit. And then there's some action sequences that you're kind of like, okay, that's just like insane. But still, it's a John Wick film, has the action there and the actress is badass. She throws down as well as Keanu Reeves does, and it's going to be interesting to see if they team up, perhaps in a later movie. That'd be cool before John Keanu Reeves gets too old and he can't do it anymore. Who knows? But if they make another ballerina film, hey, I'd be down. I thought it was solid. So nobody to. And I put it in meh. It was fine. It was humorous. Christopher Lloyd is in it again. Not much, but he's in it. The plot is very thin. just to get him to fight and all. The fight sequences are brutal and everything, but it's kind of like a poor man's John Wick. I look at it. Nobody, the first one I felt was kind of the same. The actor, can't recall his name right now. The Better Call Saul guy, I'll say, he's cool as a badass. Yeah, yeah. Um, the humor's there. It's a it's a movie to throw on a rainy day for sound. I think. Check it out. You might like it more than me, but it's fine. It's just meh. 28 years later, that was meh. Um, Now here's an asterisk beside this film. The 28 days or 28 weeks and 28 years trilogy here, I've gotten less and less interested as I watch each movie. I think the first one's the best. The second one was not great. And this third one is better than the second one. Um, but at this point, it's like, I'm done. Like I think we've had way too many zombie like apocalyptic films. I think I'm just burnt out on them. Perhaps that was why I put it in meh. You might like it more than me. I did like the set pieces. I did like the suspense in it. I thought they were pretty solid. Um, maybe if I watch it again down the road, I'll like it better. But for now, it's going to be ending up in meh. Uh, Captain America. Yeah, that's going in garbage can. The I like it better than Thunderbolts. They had the Red Hulk fight in there, which is the best part of the entire film, but they have that in the trailer. Harrison Ford is like the president is weird in a Marvel movie. There's a airplane sequence there that was cool. There's the opening sequence where Captain America, aka Falcon, is fighting these bad guys. Fine, but overall, it was trying to be the Winter Soldier 2, and it really didn't work. The plot is garbage. It tries to connect Hulk bits from the past and doesn't work well enough as it could have. Yeah, it was a waste of time. It was like many Marvel movies before it. It's just like you're either met or you suck, and Marvel movies shouldn't be that. But honestly, the superhero genre, despite my interest in the DC James Gunn universe going forward, is like tiresome at this point. It's so tiresome. They need to take a break from it, to be honest. I like how with James Gunn's stuff that he's spacing it out more than Marvel does. Um, Marvel had 3 movies this year, and none of them reached my top spot. So that tells you something. Um, and the biggest problem with the Marvel stuff is that they've forgotten what made those first few phases up to Thanos so good is because they concentrated on the characters and the story and everything. And I feel like they just lost that since Captain Marvel, really. So, yeah, it is what it is. That was just looking at the titles here. Ice Road Vengeance. It was fine. Well, there's the one before it, the Ice Road and Ice Road Vengeance with Liam Neeson and an actioner. That's what you're gonna get. Um, I thought both films have their moments there. Um, this one here, Vengeance. Um, I believe was the one where they're doing like a convoy or whatever over like this ice stuff. this long icy road. Or was that the first one? Can't remember. Both like connected, but oh no, no, this one was with but because I watched them back to back this year. This one was the one where he has the bus. Right, right. Well, whatever. I'll take them both in the same place there since I watched them both back to back. They're man movies. They're fine. They're you could throw them on a rainy day, watch them. It's a Liam Neeson actioner. So what you got? Okay, Predator: Killer of Killers is going to the top. That was a fantastic animated film, delving more into the Predator lore, uh, having three separate stories of three separate characters to culminate in a fourth part, leading up to more of a reveal for possible future animated Predator movies. I'm down. Um, I love the fact that they had these in different eras. So you have like the pilot who's in the World War II era, that Predator. Um, you have the Japan one where it's that Predator of a different build. And then you have the Viking one, and they're all great. Like they're all fantastic. I really hope that they continue with this kind of lore exploring things because that's what made the live movie Prey Predator movie so good because they actually went back in time and told a different perspective from a different time of a Predator. How did they deal with it? So excellent stuff. Megan 2.0, I like. A lot of people didn't. I thought that's obviously different from the first Megan film, where that one's the best because that one's more of a horror robot level. Uh, this one's more of a comedy action, I guess you could say. Uh, but I liked it. It was dumb, kooky parts, but I like the mother and daughter. I like how Megan essentially evolved. She's a bit more snarky and stuff like that, and I like how they brought back the other characters too from the first one. I think it's cool. It's solid. Uh, I like the first two Megans. They're different movies. I mean, it worked for me. I didn't know if I would like it or not, but I did. Locked, solid film, solid suspense film with just Bill Skarsgård, where he's not in makeup. One of his few appearances not in makeup, other than Barbarian, which comes to mind. And Anthony Hopkins is the antagonist here. Suspenseful film about a guy that gets locked in this SUV and has to figure things out. Um, Solid. Go watch it. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's good from beginning to end. It works. And finally, a working man. With the Jason Statham beat 'em up. That's what you're going to get, much like the Liam Neeson Ice Road films. Jason Statham kicking ass. Uh, the plot's very thin. It doesn't matter because it's basically like those 80s action films where it's like thin plot, badass actor kicking butt. That's what you're going to get with Jason Statham here in A Working Man. I like his films. I mean, they remind me a lot of the old throwbacks to the '80s of Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Um, Jason Statham is charismatic. He's badass in his what he does. Give it a thumbs up. So those are all the movies that I saw currently in 2025 and their ratings. They're the disappointing films I have listed there, other than Fantastic Four, were surprising disappointments for me. I think the biggest disappointment was Death of a Unicorn for me and Mission Impossible. It's a shame, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Uh, Naked Gun was a surprise. Probably the biggest surprise so far. In terms of like a movie I didn't think much of that was turned out to be really good. Um, I'd even probably throw in the Screenboat because I didn't think that movie would even. I don't know. It's a dumb, guilty pleasure, stupid film, and sometimes those films end up on your radar more than you think, right? But uh, just because I like Screenboat doesn't mean I'm all of a sudden in love with the whole universe of Winnie the Pooh being bad and Peter Pan being bad and all that crap. Um, but yeah. All right, there you have your my tier list there for films of 2025 for the back end here, the last few months of 2025. Unless there's a plethora of films I watch, um, probably not gonna have a follow up video. But these are pretty much covering the summer blockbusters that came out. So there you have it.